Every single time you invest in you, it's a massive win. Hello and welcome to the Business of Happiness podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy, and today is going to be a fabulous day. Every single day has the potential to be a great day. And today we're talking about how the best investment you can ever make in your whole life, the highest return on investment in any place, is on yourself. That's it. Every single time. And I know right now in this economy, we're all like sitting on the edge of our seats waiting for the recession to really, really hit, waiting for things to really, really bottom out. And it doesn't matter where we live in that economic flux. It never matters, because the one place we can invest in with complete assurance is in ourselves. That's it. You know, we're forever playing this game. Where's the best place to put your money? Is it in the real estate market? Is it in the stock market? Is it in 401ks? Is it in Roth IRAs? Like, where are we putting this money? The best place is in yourself. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about all energetic forms, be it money, energy, or time. That ever precious commodity that is so much more valuable. You know, this past weekend, I was just talking to my husband, and we're recognizing we're about to celebrate our 21st anniversary. Been married to this man for 21 years, y'all. Can I get a shout out? That's huge. But my point is, those 21 years flew by in the snap of a finger, in the wink of an eye. I mean, literally, that time is so precious. So precious. And when I look over my life, my entire life, beyond those 21 years being married to Killian, really all 46 years of my life on this earth. I mean, I've lived more than half a century, more than half my life has passed. The places where I made the best investment was in me every single time. And it's interesting because in medicine and dentistry, we do so early on, right? We do so when we have the encouragement and support of our parents. So all of us, or most of us, went into medicine and dentistry at an age where we really were bolstered by other people's opinions and influence. Other people around us were saying, yeah, go get it. Go on. Go invest in yourself. In fact, at the time, I remember in dental school, it was funny money, right? I was just throwing money at dental school, throwing money at college. It wasn't until after we graduated that we realized, oh, whoa, we have to pay this stuff back. And to this day, my husband and I are both still paying our student loans back. And yet, wasn't that the best money you ever spent? Those hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you had put them anywhere else, would you have had the same return on that money? And the answer is no, because you are your best investment every single time. We cannot control the economy. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control other people. But the one thing we can have complete assurance in is ourselves. So it doesn't matter what we're talking about here, but it does matter the intention of investing in yourself. Whether that be a weekend at a spa to rejuvenate and take care of your body and relax and give your nervous system a moment to calm down, that's an investment, my friend, in you. Whether it be taking up horseback riding lessons because you've always just wanted to do it, or sculpting, right? Just playing with clay and learning a new skill. that investment is never, ever lost. Maybe learning a new language. A couple years ago, my husband invested in himself to learn beekeeping, and that's changed our lives. We're beekeepers now, and we love it. But that investment has colored and shaped our lives in a way that that same money could never have done on the stock market. Now, I'm not telling you where to invest your money for long-term security and stability and your retirement fund. I'm just saying there is nowhere better than in yourself. That's it. So why do we hesitate? Why do we hold back? You know, an amazing book that I'd love to recommend to you, and I recommend this to all my coaching clients and in all my groups, is Kyle Cease's The Illusion of Money. And it's an excellent read. It gives us a great perspective in terms of how we see money and the power we hand over to money. But I want to just talk about an example that he uses in the book. And he highlights these three women. And he talks about woman A, woman B, and woman C. And I think they all came into money somehow. I think they had been saving up for a while. And the first woman spent it lavishly. You know, she took time off, she stepped away from work, and she spent it on fun things. And she bought experiences and shoes and clothes and material things. And you know what's so interesting is there's a value to that. There's a value to giving yourself permission to spend money on yourself. 100%. That can spark enormous growth. But we all completely agree and recognize that material things only bring a very temporary hit, very temporary dopamine spike. That Louis Vuitton bag eventually loses its luster. That fancy car, you're going to need and want another one in a few years' time. So although spending money on yourself, I am all about, those material things are not sustainable in terms of the happiness hit, in terms of the long-term investment. Okay. Then there was another woman. Let's call her woman B. And what she did was she put all her money that she came across into security and stability in terms of her retirement fund. She invested in the market. She kept going to work. She didn't take time off of work. She just kept her regular life the way it was, pretended that money didn't exist, and put it all into investment properties and in the stock market. Once again, zero judgment. I have money in the stock market. I have money in investment properties. There's security and stability in that. And let's also recognize the energetic shift. The moment we start putting our money somewhere else outside of ourselves, we start believing the fear-based scarcity mindset. There might be a day where there's not enough. Once again, I'm not telling you where to put your money. I'm just asking you to recognize what that looks like and feels like in your body. Disability insurance. Yes, we all have it. But recognize what that money is saying. It's saying, one day I might get so sick I can't practice anymore, so this is my backup plan. Do we need it? Yes. But is that a great place to put all of your investment, your energy, your money, and your time? No. Because guess what? She kept working the same job. She kept the same practices. And she has this little peace of mind now when she goes to sleep at night that one day when she retires, she's going to have money in the bank. But how many of us know people who died with a ton of money unspent? Right? How many of us want to leave this world with all that hard-earned cash sitting in the bank? Because guess what? We can't take it with us. We can't. We can leave it to other people, for sure, but we can't take it with us. So what's happening in the moment? How do we find and fuel our happiness now with our money, with our energy, with our time? Because then Kyle spoke about the third woman, and she stopped working and spent a year traveling, broadening her experiences, learning new skills, creating new opportunities, meeting new people. And when she came back from that year, she'd invested so much in her own skill set, she launched a whole new business that was multiple times more successful than the one she had left the year before. Now she was just printing money. Not just that, but she had experienced life. She had experienced living this life while she was still young and able and enjoyed every moment of it. You know, I think so often in this profession, in medicine and dentistry, we use our best years of our life as a time to make hay while the sun shines. I'm going to put my nose to the grindstone and work myself into the ground while I still can. And I'm going to put all this money into a place for my retirement. And when I'm retired, then I'm going to be able to really live my life. How many people do you know of who get to that place? And there are a few. There are a few. I know a phenomenal dentist. She's amazing. She retired 10 years earlier than she thought she would, and now she picked up scuba diving in her retirement. And that's what she does. She travels all over and scuba dives, which I think is phenomenal. But notice what she did. She invested in herself. She got a scuba diving certification after she retired. Instead of freaking out about how little money she would have to live on, she said, you know what? Now I'm going to invest in myself again. She learned the value of investing in herself and taking advantage of the moment now. There will never be a moment in time where investing in yourself is not the right answer. Never. Every single day, investing in yourself energetically, giving yourself what you need. Because like I said, we can control no one and no thing outside of ourselves. Nothing. Nothing else. This, my friends, is all about your growth and ascension, your growth and development, your skill set, because you are the asset. Think back to every CE class you've ever taken. You know, I remember this really great program that I invested in around how to better use aligners, and it was, I think a 6-month program. It took me a long time to complete it. It was way more money than I'd ever invested in a CE program before. And boy, did I appreciate it afterwards. The value that had after I took that course, my education skyrocketed. I was so much more capable and confident investing in me. That fear that I had around, I think it was something like $3,000. And I freaked out. I thought, oh my gosh, I've never spent $3,000 on a CE course before. I don't even know if I didn't even need it for my licensure that year. But I was afraid. I got so in my head. Oh my gosh, that investment paid for itself 1,000,000 times over, for sure. It launched me in so many different directions. It gave me so much. Isn't that so true for every part of ourselves? Investing in a coach, in a private coach, in a life coach, that return on investment in terms of your relationships, in terms of your happiness, in terms of your energy level, in terms of showing up for you, there is no more valuable place to put your money. I don't care what stock market tip you might have. There will never be something greater for you to invest in than in yourself. And let's just hold it there for a moment, because I think so many of us are uncomfortable with that. So many of us have been raised in a culture where spending on yourself feels enormously uncomfortable. It just wasn't done, right? especially as a mom. All the moms and dads out there, shout out to you for spending ridiculous amounts on your kids' piano lessons and their baseball outfits and their summer programs to increase their knowledge, to grow their skill set. Shout out to all the moms and dads who send their kids to Latin America so that they can learn new languages and immerse themselves. We don't even blink an eye. We don't even blink an eye on the amount of money that we spend on our children to help them with their development. We recognize the value. We recognize the importance. What if I said to you that by investing in yourself, investing in a deeper understanding of who you are, you could cultivate deeper connections with others, deeper, more meaningful relationships. All those relationships in your life right now that seem so surface level, you could find and cultivate the ones that really mattered. Those friendships that are not transactional friendships. I'll only be your friend if A, B, and C, right? But really finding the people who you jive and align with. What if I told you that investing in your personal development would give you greater confidence in your work that you do in the world, so that people would flock to you, patients and clients and business opportunities would flow to you because of how you showed up, because you invested in yourself? What if I told you that by investing in yourself, you could find more happiness every day? You could wake up in the morning excited for the day and not fearful of it or feeling like you need to attack it, but sitting back in your bed before you got up in the morning and just feeling enormous gratitude for the abundance in your life. That's what investing in yourself looks like. And that's what you deserve. Every single one of you. You know, I felt called to bring this episode because right now is one of those times in our lives where it's the end of the summer. We're getting to that point where we're beginning to look at September starting up again, and the last half of the year is coming around the corner. And we're recognizing what we have and haven't done in 2023. And I want to remind you again that investing in yourself, whatever that means to you, and I'd love for you to take a moment to ask yourself, what does that mean to me? What have I always wanted? What have I dreamt of? Yes, you did it to the tune of $500,000 when you were 19 and you invested in dental school or medical school. And maybe it left you with some traumatic wounds around spending money. I hear you. I've been there myself. So what do we do when we realize, you know what? The only investment that really matters here is in myself. And how do I adjust to that new reality, realizing the importance and the value of it when I have these old traumatic wounds from spending so much money in dental school that I'll be paying off my whole life? What you do is you love on yourself. You give yourself enormous compassion and grace, because anyone would be shell-shocked after that experience, for sure. For sure. We've all been there. And I speak to clients daily who are still sitting in that scarcity mindset because that number was so enormous that they walked out with, and that they felt like there were so many restrictions on their options in practice. And I want to remind you again that the only thing we can control is ourselves, and that you are always your best bet, and that nobody knows you like you do. So you get to listen to those whispers, that intuitive knowing. What matters to you? What have you always wanted to experience in your life? And what learning and growth opportunities have you been longing for? And then, what support do you need? You are so much more powerful than you realize. You are, and if you look back over your life, you recognize that. You realize, oh, wow. Yeah. Even though I was so uncomfortable with that money that I spent on my education, look at the position it's put me in. Look at this opportunity now that I have to continue to grow wealth, and the time that I now can honor myself with to reinvest in myself. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for always showing up for this podcast. Thank you for investing the time in yourself, because that's what this podcast is all about. This podcast is all about investing time in you, in understanding your growth and development. So bravo, you're already doing it. You're already doing it. I'm just here to ask you, what more is there available for you? And give yourself permission to recognize the enormous value of it, because every time you invest in yourself, you win. Great to chat with you. I was going to say great to see you always. I feel like you're all right here in front of me. Great to speak with you always. Thank you so much for staying for this episode. And remember, when you feel good, that's when you can do good. Bye-bye.